If data is the new oil, what happens when you lose it? Hello and welcome to CyberVerse, a podcast series by Cyber Media, where we explore latest digital tech and trends. I'm Bharti Trehan, and today we are going to discuss a topic that affects us all: data loss. Data loss is a major threat, and good news is you can recover it. And to help us understand how, today we have a very special guest, Mr. Sunil Chandna, co-founder and CEO of Stellar Data Recovery. So today we are going to discuss everything around how he and his organization is helping enterprises to recover their data in a cost-effective manner and everything around. Welcome, Sunil sir. So we will start the conversation with how did you started Stellar? When did you started it, and what was the total idea behind the Stellar Data Recovery?
Hello, Bharti. First of all, thank you to Cyber Media and Cyberverse for inviting me. It's a pleasure to be here. Also, to tell you a background about me and Cyber Media, that my association goes a long way. Even when I was a student, I used to look at the Data Quest magazine. So, strong, fond memories of growing up with Data Quest and PC Quest and other media. And big congratulations to Cyber Media Group on continuing this long journey. All right. I am one of the co-founders of Stellar Data Recovery. Was co-founded Stellar in 1993, and it came out of an evolution of a engineering college project, and we discovered a problem where in those times the data was exchanged on floppy disks. They were like flexible disks that could store data. Not too much, but that was the only way that data could be exchanged. And typical thing was insurance companies or large organizations sharing data from branches to the regional offices or head offices through floppy disks, and those going corrupt. And we stumbled upon this idea: if we could make those disks work, that could save a lot of time, because then the data had to be resent. And hence Stellar Data Recovery was born. So it started off as a software that could recover from floppies, and we soon discovered that the problem was bigger and there were hard drives involved, and also that there were problems that were more complicated and involved a data recovery as a service. So we set up a laboratory for that. Throughout the journey, we created a lot of software, expanded from an Indian company to a global organization with subsidiaries in US and Netherlands, and today we have about 450 people and served several million customers in different parts of the world directly, and also through a partner network of 8,000 partners in different parts of the world. Happy to be here.
So we should start with the basics of data loss. How does data recovery actually works across such diverse storage devices? We want to know about that.
Sure. So first of all, I wish my friends and anybody I come across that they don't have data loss. It's a very difficult, stressful situation to be in. And so I always recommend, whether you're an individual or a small organization or a medium organization or an enterprise, to always have backups and have multiple generational backups so that you have a solid disaster recovery plan. Having said that, due to different situational challenges and sometimes the lack of availability of resources or time, data backups are not there. And it's kind of, they call it the Murphy's Law of data loss. The more likely it's for you to experience a data loss when you haven't taken a backup. So data loss happens, and it could be simpler problems like you delete a file, or you're transferring data from a computer to a hard drive. You do a drag and drop without checking whether the data is transferred. You remove data from your desktop or a server, and neither the data was there on the destination nor on the source. At the elementary stage, what I would like to explain is users don't need to know what is under the hood. It is like driving a car. So when you lose data, data recovery software exists, which are very sophisticated and across different devices. So if it's a computer hard drive or a memory card or a mobile phone or a server, they have different ways to organize data. Technically, that is called file system. A user doesn't need to necessarily know that. A smart and sophisticated software has the ability to scan different media, figure out how the data is organized, and then look for different patterns that help user get the data back. And that is what we offer at Stella. So we have been developing data recovery software for almost like 35 years, and that's the design. So you don't need to be an expert to recover data. So as our design team says, we design software for grandmoms. So you need to be even if you are technically challenged, you're able to still have a chance to recover data. And all you have to do is point and shoot. You download the software and select the storage media. It could be a phone or external hard drive or a memory card, and start scanning and shows you what all data is recoverable. That's how it goes. So many simple cases, including deleting files or accidentally formatting a hard drive, folders going missing. Nowadays, the bigger problem is the operating system update, because Windows 10 is going obsolete. A lot of users are trying to upgrade to Windows 11. During upgrade cycles, you could lose data. In such situations, it's not guaranteed, but in most of the cases, there's a high probability that the data can be recovered. And using a data recovery software like our Stellar data recovery software, you can then have the ability to figure out what all data is recoverable. You can preview the results and then register online and purchase the software and get the data back.
Okay, all right. Moving forward, if we talk about first aid of data loss, like there are many individuals or small enterprises which find it quite difficult to have afford the expenses or the kind of solutions for the data recovery. So are there any DIY tools or any solutions which are easy to use and easy to handle for them, and you can provide any solutions like that for them?
As I mentioned, data recovery software designed to do that. When you have a data loss situation, you see complex error messages on your screen, and you can't relate to them as a user. But that's okay. You don't have to really research the technology side of it, but rather look for a credible data recovery software, which actually, it's like, as you can say again, I'll repeat, it's designed for dummies. So you don't have to be an expert. And that is what makes data recovery efficient. In fact, we offer a free data recovery edition that allows users to recover up to 1 gigabyte data for free. And then you have entry-level editions that cost a couple of $1,000. And data recovery can definitely be expensive, but that's only for complex problems when you need to take your storage media hard drive or a SSD or a server to a laboratory. But in many cases, software could be a first go-to approach, a first aid solution wherein you can solve many problems. And a good part about a professional data recovery software is that's secure and safe. What it means is when you run a data recovery software, it would not cause any further damage or corruption to the affected media. And hence, even if you fail to recover data yourself, you can still have a chance to go to a professional data recovery service company and then take the help to recover the data.
Right. And if we add on from the SMB, MSME startups perspective, how do you help them, even in not even in the start, but in the long run as well, to recover their data, and also keeping in mind that that is cost effective and that is also easy to handle? How do you help them out?
Okay. First of all, yes, we have a lot of data loss cases that are reported at the SMB space. There's a good side of technology that you have availability of cloud, you have SSDs, so why I say that is because SSDs are less likely to fail as compared to physical mechanical hard drives, and also cloud gives you an availability of real-time syncing of data. Having said that, the challenge is that most of the cloud services have a limited free quota, and beyond a point, you have to then subscribe for a paid plan. And that is where most of the organizations and small businesses typically make a mistake, that they back up what is available for free, and then they don't unlock a professional plan, and also do a lot of offline computing. So there is something happening in the online space, like they would use, let's say, a Google Suite or a Microsoft Office Suite, but they're doing also a lot of data creation locally. And part two is, because I have high volume of data to address, they use typically a network attached storage, and they presume that a network attached storage would never fail, which is a big myth. It does have redundancy because they have multiple hard drives and they have redundancy built. Technically, it's called the RAID organization of hard drives, but RAID architectures also can fail. It could be at the controller level or it could be at hard drive levels. If multiple hard drives fail, you have data loss. That's one situation. The other is, there are complex situations. While there could be a sabotage, there could be a ransomware issue, and you lose data. So again, the first approach actually is, usually when you are a mid-sized organization, you would probably have an IT resource, and they can again use a slightly advanced level of our data recovery tool, which is good for scanning servers or storage media, like a NAS boxes. We have got tools that can scan, let's say, a Synology storage media or a NetApp storage box. And other, I'm not saying these makes have a problem, but I'm just giving an illustrative example. So first approach is again to use a software, and then the second approach is, if you are not able to figure this out yourself because of software limitations, or you're too much worried about the importance of data. So Stella, while it's headquartered in the national capital, has 13 service locations in the country. So we have laboratories in bigger cities like Bangalore, Chennai, Hyderabad, Mumbai, Pune, and also smaller cities like Coimbatore, Kochi, Chandigarh, Calcutta, and other parts of the world, India, and also have a network of service partners. So what a customer can do is either walk in or organize a pickup, and then the media is assessed at a laboratory, and for a very small fee, we assess the storage media, hard drive, laptop, server, whatever, and give an estimate about the possibility of data recovery. So that's a two-pronged approach, and also give clarity on what's the possibility of data recovery. Most of the data recovery plans are no data, no charge. What it means is, if by any chance customer orders data recovery and data cannot be recovered, then in almost majority of the plans, customers don't have to pay anything. So that way, it's bit of a risk mitigation from the customer side, and we are able to do that because assessments are very thorough, and we are pretty confident about our ability to recover cases. But in cases that we are not able to help the customer with the data, we understand, and we then give them a pathway where they don't have to pay money for the services.
Any case study which you can share where a complex nature of data recovery you have done, or any major attack happened, or even a small attack but it was a complicated one and you helped them to recover their data?
Well, I can tell you, almost all walks of life, all industries, whether it could be central government, state government organizations, PSUs, banks, insurance companies, including tech majors, data loss happens.
Right.
There was an earlier joke that said, death and taxes are two certain things in life. And I say the third thing is probably data loss. What you can take care of is probably take good backups. And if you don't, then you can run into this situation. Now, cases are very interesting. They are related to, law enforcement agencies getting access to data of national importance, to critical data of a large insurance corporation where, their archives were encrypted using a ransomware. We had a large pharmaceutical company which had R&D center slightly in the areas which were a bit low-lying, and we had floods in Mumbai, and the entire data center was submerged. So the cases become very complex, and sometimes the cases of like a building going on fire, and the server room for it was a mid-sized corporation was in a very off location that it was very inaccessible. The fire just made it inaccessible for this server room to be the servers to be salvaged, and there was a lot of burn, but we were able to help significantly recover the data. Cases of stockbrokers, cases of students, professors, uh, research data, some big banner television shows that were recorded, and while they were editing this, they were crashed. A celebrity had recorded the voiceover, and the sound studio had a crash, and the celebrity died. Now the only way to get the data was from those servers, or you had to do a dummy voiceover recording artist. So just giving data is so inherent to now every individual. It could be a housewife, a retired person, a grandmom, a student, a professional, or a high-flying businessman, that it affects everyone in a big manner because we are so dependent upon now digital data. We hardly record data by printing them in manuals in our homes or offices, that if the data goes off, it can almost destroy lives.
Right.
And because I have to respect privacy of organizations, I could name them, but I think I gave you some scenarios that you could appreciate with.
That's fine. Now we can talk about data security, the compliance involved in the regulations. In India, we have DPDPA Act, we have acts like GDPR, and among various others. Securely erasing data has become just as important as recovering it, right? So, especially at the end of device life cycle. Can you tell us more about your Stellar's recent product, BitRaiser? How it helped companies stay compliant and secure?
Absolutely. I will broaden the conversation to say, even if, let's say, think about your own phone, when you're buying a new phone and you want to trade in, you're a bit uncomfortable if your personal data can be compromised. And you don't want to kind of sometimes sell off the phone or a hard drive or a computer. You'll say, what if someone gets access to it? So there are three sides to this conversation. First is many users are very aware about their data privacy, and they are hyper sensitive about it. And what they start doing is, even though the device has no value to them and has some secondary value in the ecosystem, they don't want to sell it. They want to hold it in their home. So you would find cupboards loaded with old computers, mobile phones, hard drive, because they are too much concerned that their personal data or business data can be compromised. The other side is users who have no idea about their data privacy when they are letting go an old computer. They think they initialize the computer and then everything is gone. And as explained last few minutes, that data recovery is possible using a software or laboratory service. So it's a big problem. The good part is that we have our Data Privacy Act in the country, and what it empowers is that as an individual, I have a right to demand erasure. So if I'm talking to I'm a telecom subscriber, or I'm working with an insurance company, it could be health insurance or a car insurance or a general life insurance, I can exercise right to erasure. What it means is, I say, I'm stopping business with you and you have to please completely erase my personal data. So that's one responsibility. And what has been seen in different parts of the world and India is that in most cases, the devices are disposed of in a very irresponsible manner. Taking a step back, in 2019, we did a study of second-hand devices in India. So from different online marketplaces, we bought second-hand hard drives, mobile phones, memory cards, and we scanned them for data, taking help of our data recovery software, no expert involved. It was amazed that 71% of the devices had data. So 7 out of every 10 devices were data carriers. They not only had their personal pictures, but financial data, passwords to bank accounts. So a lot of financial frauds could have occurred, identity theft could have occurred, and so the users are waiting for their personal or financial information to be robbed. This is the state of affairs. Having said that, the awareness is changing, and things are getting better. But a good way to get rid of this data is to use a secure erasure tool. Now, there are worldwide standards that clearly articulate how data should be erased when a device is being disposed. So the popular ones being NIST 888 and IEEE 2883 standards. And using that standard, if a software performs the procedure, then data is permanently and irreversibly erased from such storage media. A good thing to consider is to use a tool that has been test approved by a certification body. So to give an example, Stella's data erasure software, which is called Bitracer, has been test approved by American Federal Data Security Organization NIST, also is approved by ADISA, Common Criteria. Back home, STQC laboratories have test approved the software, and we are happy to say that it's a made in software in India software for the world. So not only we have large Indian corporations using it and SMBs and government organizations using it, we also have Fortune 500 organizations and very important central government and state government organizations in different part of the world that are using Bitracer to permanently erase data from the storage media.
Good, great. Lastly, I want to know about the future outlook of data recovery. Where is data recovery is actually heading towards? Do you foresee the integration of AI, cloud-based data recovery,
Good.
even blockchain for auditability, and how is Stellar preparing for the future ahead?
So, as storage media is becoming more and more reliable, the problem is happening at the file level. What it means is, I went to a holiday, made a video, let's say of a sunset or an animal sanctuary or the wedding party, and I can see the video, but it fails to open. So corruption at file level, because of various reasons, technical or human error, are mushrooming a lot. So it is happening a lot at multimedia files, photo and video and audio files. It's also happening at typical document files like Word, Excel, PowerPoint equivalents. Also happening at server level data like a SQL database or a MySQL database. So what Stella has started doing is started offering data recovery as a service. What it means is you don't even now have to use a software to do data recovery. So let's say you shot a video on a phone and got corrupt. You can just upload that corrupt video onto a website on web page, and at the server side, the file would be repaired securely, and you'll get a download link back. So what it means is you don't even have to have a computer to do data recovery. As simple as that. We again have free editions of that service. So let's say a video up to 100 megabyte can be repaired for free, and if it is bigger, then you can subscribe to a monthly subscription. You don't even have to take a longer plans, and or if you are into, let's say, professional video editing services, you can take an annual plan if you desire. So we give now choices not only for laboratory service and desktop software, but also data recovery in your browser. So it's becoming that simplified. Of course, it's more sophisticated, more complicated, but we understand because the technology has become so mainstream that there are many people who never want to own a computer. They're happy with a tablet or a mobile phone, but still they have data and they don't want to lose it. So we are trying to bring data recovery to an average consumer through these technologies. So these are some recent innovations that we're doing in data recovery.
Great. It was a very insightful and knowledgeable conversation with you, sir. I hope in the future as well we will have more such conversation around data and data loss and data recovery. And Stellar, I am sure, is going to play a big role in India and as well as the overseas for the data recovery session. And thank you so much for joining us today, sir.
Thank you, Bharti. It was a pleasure to be here, and be happy to come on next few visits whenever you invite me to. Thank you.
Sure, sir. It's clear whether you are a student, individual, or a large enterprise. Protecting and recovering your data is very critical, and companies like Stellar are making it more accessible. To our listeners, remember, losing your data doesn't mean losing hope. Companies like Stellar can help you out in recovering your data in a more easy and cost-effective manner. Thank you for tuning into CyberVerse. Don't forget to subscribe and join us for next time for more such conversation around digital crime.